Hey everybody, I'm Shannon and welcome to Swamp Stalker Outdoors. So recently my buddy over at TNDeer Stalker Outdoors tagged me in a 3-question challenge. The first question was, what is my best deer hunt? The second question is, what is my worst deer hunt? And the third question is, who got me started deer hunting? So I'm going to start off with, we'll go with who got me started hunting. I kind of grew up, me and my brothers and my father and grandpa, we all kind of hunted together. Every year we would travel to West Virginia and go to my grandparents' place, and we would hunt on the property. My dad and my grandfather, they kind of had equal parts in getting me started. Now my dad, he was a true outdoorsman. If I could tell you about anybody, would have been him. You know, he spent a lot of times outdoors. He fly fished. He, deer hunted. He went squirrel hunting. Bear hunt. The list goes on. He was always doing some kind of hunting and some kind of fishing. But he passed away in 2016, and the day I aired this video, which is kind of funny that I got tagged. It's going to be the day that his birthday. So, it was kind of meant to be. But anyways, tomorrow will be his birthday, and I'm going to publish this video tomorrow, and this is one of the reasons that I started my channel, was just making memories with the family. And I have a lot of pictures and stuff and memories, of my dad and hunting with him and fishing with him and just doing outdoor stuff. And really don't have any kind of videos, so I figured, one of the main reasons for me to start, my channel was so my kids and family would have a memory of me, and if something was to happen and I'm no longer here, and then they can see what they did when they were kids and how they grew up, and they can show maybe their kids and so on. But like I said, my father and my grandfather, they pretty much had equal parts in it. My grandfather, he was a pretty outdoors person too. He mainly worked a lot, but he did enjoy going hunting and fishing. Now he really enjoyed fishing more than he did hunting. Him and my grandmother, they didn't eat venison, or they really didn't eat a whole lot of wild game, but he would go out and hunt and give any of my family members that that wanted some meat for the year, he would go out and hunt them, and and get whatever he was hunting and give it to them. So he was a really cool person, and I really learned a lot from my grandfather, and he passed away this last year, and it's tough. I lost my dad and his dad, and two men that really taught me to be the man that I am today. And but anyways, so those are the two people who got me started, and like I said, it's been a good thing. I think they taught me a lot, and I'm passing it down to my kids, so hopefully they'll keep on going with it. But so the second question is, what is my favorite deer hunt? Well, my favorite deer hunt is me and my brothers. My brothers live in South Carolina, and I live in Florida, and we all get together, like I said, every year, and we go to West Virginia where my dad and my grandfather lived, and we go up there and hunt. And so basically how we hunt up there is, my grandfather lives in the bottom of the valley, and me and my brother and my dad would hunt on this side, and my grandfather and my older brother, they would hunt on this side. So we just kind of spread out on our little piece of property we had to hunt. And so we kind of switch around different sides. We kind of had our favorite spots, but we get bored and switch around. So my grandfather, he wasn't going to go out, and he didn't like hunting out of a tree stand, so he always hunted on the ground. And it never failed. He would go out there in the crack of daylight. As soon as you'd be light enough to shoot, boom, he would shoot. And I don't care where he went, he would shoot a deer, and it'd be a big old deer. But he decided he wasn't going to go out, and so he told me, he's like, just go out there with your brother, and he'll drop you off at my stool. He had a little stool he liked to sit on, just a little wooden stool he made, and he said, just go out there and sit. So I went out there and sit in the evening with my brother, and my brother, he went on out along the ridge and went out to his tree stand, and we were out there hunting, and I hear 2 deer coming down off the side of the hill, and they come down there, and I see a buck. You know, he had big old horns, and he wasn't a monster, but, you know, just, it was a good buck to me. And so I threw the gun up, and I shoot that buck, and he takes off down around the hill and drops down. And I waited for a while, and probably 45 minutes, and it was getting real close to dark by this time. And my older brother, he's like, hey, come over there. And he said, hey, did you shoot? And I said, yeah, I shot. I said, I shot one. I said, I think it went down below your stand. And he's like, well, let's see if we can go and find it. So we went over there, and we didn't see it. And so a little while later, my dad and my little brother, they come up from the other side, and they said, well, you shoot? And I said, yeah. I said, we got one. I said, we're blood trailing it. We're trying to find it. So we all looked for it, and, you know, it was just blood trailing. By this time, it's real dark. And we went out there, and we got our little headlamps on, and we're shining a light around and looking around, and one of us see it, and it's down in the bottom, in the bottom of a little ravine. And there was an old tree that fell down, and he was inside that clump of trees. So we're shining a light on it, and I'm like, there it is. And I threw the gun up, and I'm trying to look at it through the scope. And like I said, it's dark at this point, and all you could really see was the eyes. So we tried to move in real close to where we could make sure that, you know, that was the buck. And sure enough, he's sitting there looking at us, and we're looking at him, and he's looking at us. And I'm like, my dad's like, well, shoot him again. He's like, because he's gonna get up and run. And so I threw the gun up, and I shot him, and he didn't flinch. And my brother's like, oh, you missed him. I said, okay. And I threw the gun up again. I shot him. Boom. Same thing. I shot this poor old buck. I probably shot him 3 or 4 times. We come to find out that a deer had died, and his head was stuck up in the bushes, or the brush of tree limbs off that tree, and his head was propped up. So it looked like he was alive, and he was looking at us. All you could see was them eyes glowing, his white horns, and his face. And sure enough, we went down there finally after I shot 3 or 4 times, and went down there, and that poor deer had bullet holes all in him. I shot him all up, and he was dead the whole time. But that was probably my favorite, you know, my favorite hunting story I got. You know, it was good, you know, it was a good time I got to spend with my dad and my brothers, and like I said, I really enjoyed hunting with them. But my worst hunting experience, I would have to say, me and my buddy Pat, we do a lot of hunting here in Florida, you know, when we can, and we got one particular hunting management area that, you know, that we like to go to, and this year it was real dry and real hot, and I went out there, and me and him, we went on a hunt, and we both had built these little campers, little just tiny campers. I think mine was like maybe 6 by 10, and it was just kind of like a wooden box. I put a door on the back, and I made it so I could roll it up onto a utility trailer. And so it was my first time taking this thing out, and I was all excited about going hunting. And half the time, you know, I don't ever see anything hardly on public land. You know, it's just, that's a whole nother story. But anyways, we got out there and we hunted hard, and for the first day, and we were tired and went back after, you know, we hunted all day, and went back out there and back to camp, and kind of got cleaned up, went, took a shower, and come back inside that camper and laid down, and went to sleep. And the next day we got up and did the same thing, and so the next day when we finished up, and we'll come back into the, you know, to camp, and we hunted all day, and neither one of us got anything, and I took a shower and went and crawled in bed, and I was laying there, and I'm like scratching, and I'm like, man, I just itched all over like I done got into some poison ivy or something. But I knew it wasn't poison ivy because it wouldn't have started itching right away like that, because I catch that all the time. But come to find out, you know, I got up in the middle of the night, and I had my flashlight, and I'm looking, and I had these little tiny, they were just like little spots, little brown spots, just the size of the end of a pencil lead. And I had these brown spots all over me. They were all over me, and I couldn't figure out, man, I'm looking at them, and I'm like, man, what is that? and come to find out they were seed ticks. I guess they get into high grass and stuff, and we like to hunt a lot of the swamps and around the edges of these flag ponds and different stuff like that, and there's a lot of high grass. And well, I guess from me taking my hunting clothes and throwing inside the my little camper, and they got all inside my little camper and crawled all over. They were all over my bed, my sheets, they were on the walls, but I was covered. So I ended up leaving because I had so many of these little bites all over me, and I wanted to get out of there. I don't want to stay no longer. And that was pretty much one of my worst hunting trips. That was probably the worst one, but I didn't get nothing, needless to say. And so now I always worry about sea ticks, and it just freaks me out. But well, I hope you guys enjoy my stories. And another part of this deal is I gotta pick 3 other people. So I hope you guys enjoy my story, and like I said, and I hope these people they carry on and do the same thing. This kind of it's pretty neat. It's a pretty neat idea, on what this is. Kind of gives you, a little background on me, and so I'm gonna pick 3 people. Now my 3 people is one of the newer people that actually came over from TNDeer Stalker Outdoors. He hit me up the other day, and it's Heartland Outdoors Living. Great channel, really nice people. Y'all go over and check them out. And I'm tagging you guys, so I want to hear some stories from y'all. And then the next one is Weekend Warrior Outdoors. Now, I go on a lot of live streams. This guy, he has live streams, and I go on his live streams, and we talk back and forth, and it's super nice family. They get out and they do a lot of hunting and fishing, and really, really stand-up people. So y'all go check them out too. I'm tagging y'all. And then my last one is EBOutdoors. Now, EBOutdoors, they do a lot of hunting and a lot of fishing too, and great channel. A lot of different stuff. Him and his wife, they do a lot of different things, and really, like I said, really great channel. Y'all go check these channels out. I'm gonna put links in my description down below, and maybe somebody could leave a message, say, hey, you guys got tagged in this guy's video over at Swamp Stalker Outdoors. But anyways, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you on our next adventure. Thanks, TNDeer Stalker Outdoors. Later, y'all. Bye.